I betrayed my family's trust and don't know how to make things right. I've been carrying a heavy secret for months, and it's tearing me apart. My family has always been close-knit and trusting, but I did something that could shatter that trust forever. Last year, I was struggling financially and felt like I had nowhere to turn. My parents had saved a significant amount of money for my younger siblings' college fund. In a moment of desperation, I accessed that account and took a portion of the money, thinking I would be able to pay it back before anyone noticed. I lied to myself, believing that I could fix everything quickly. But things spiraled out of control, and I haven't been able to repay the money. My sibling is now starting to apply to colleges, and the guilt is consuming me. They have so much potential and deserve every opportunity, and I might have jeopardized their future. I can't sleep, and I'm constantly anxious. Every time I see my parents or my sibling, the guilt becomes overwhelming. They trust me completely and have no idea what I've done. I'm terrified of their reaction if I come clean, but I know I can't keep living with this lie. I don't know how to make things right. Should I confess and face the consequences, risking my family's trust and potentially their future? Or should I try to find another way to repay the money before they find out, even though I have no idea how to do that? Has anyone else been in a similar situation? How did you handle it, and what was the outcome? I'm desperate for advice and guidance. Update 1. What I spent the money on. I've seen a lot of comments asking what I spent the money on, so here it is. I developed a sports gambling addiction. It started out as a way to make some quick money, but I quickly got in over my head. I was sure I could win big and pay it all back, but instead, I kept losing more and more. I'm so ashamed of what I've done. I've not only jeopardized my siblings' future but also betrayed my parents' trust. I know I need help for my addiction, and I'm starting to look into resources and support groups. But the big question remains, how do I tell my family? How do I even start the conversation, knowing the pain it will cause? If anyone has experience with gambling addiction or has been through a similar situation, I could really use your advice. How do I come clean and start making amends? Update 2. 2 months later. It's been 2 months since my original post, and I wanted to share what's happened since. I finally gathered the courage to tell my family the truth. I couldn't keep living with the guilt, and I knew they deserved to know what I had done. I sat down with my parents and my sibling and confessed everything. I explained how my gambling addiction had spiraled out of control and how I had taken the money, fully intending to pay it back but failing miserably. I broke down in tears, expecting the worst. The initial reaction was exactly what I feared: shock, anger, and immense disappointment. My parents couldn't believe I had betrayed their trust, and my sibling was heartbroken. It was the hardest conversation I've ever had. In the days that followed, things were tense and strained. My parents had to rearrange their finances to ensure my sibling could still attend college, albeit with more loans and less comfort than they had planned. The trust between us is severely damaged, and I know it will take a long time to rebuild, if ever. However, there's a silver lining. My family agreed to support me in getting the help I need for my gambling addiction. I've started attending a support group and therapy sessions, and I'm committed to turning my life around. My sibling, while still hurt, has shown incredible maturity and understanding, which I don't deserve but am deeply grateful for. Rebuilding trust is going to be a long journey, but I'm determined to make amends and prove that I can change. For anyone else going through something similar, my advice is to come clean sooner rather than later. It's painful, but honesty is the first step toward healing. Thank you to everyone who offered advice and support. It gave me the courage to face my family and start the difficult process of making things right.